Why don't you want to talk to Leafy?
Why don't I want to talk to Leafy? Okay, so I think I'm down to talk to him. You know what I mean? I think I'm down to call him. I've actually knew him. I think he tried. Okay, so one I didn't. So I said I didn't want to talk to him, and then he was using it to kind of like weaponize me, saying like I changed because I knew him for a long time and this and this. But to be fair, I mean I knew him since 2015 or 2016, but we've never met in person. Like if he was really my friend, maybe we would meet in person. Maybe you know what I'm saying?
I don't think he's met anybody in person.
Yeah, so I don't know, but I was down to call him off stream. Like he wanted to call me on stream on my first stream ever, and so a lot was going on. And then on the second stream, he was just kept blowing me up. But in my head, I mean, like, bro, I'm all about freedom of speech. He can say whatever he wants, but just on his Twitter, he was hella on some like just, in my opinion, just hateful shit. I mean, he's just hateful. Like, just
Hey, Rice, man, what's good?
was good, man. Can you hear me?
Yeah, one sec. Let me add my camera. We could just talk like this. We don't need to add the camera, right?
Yeah, or we don't have to do cameras. We can just talk voice and shit.
Hey,
I don't
what's
think
good?
I've ever talked to you before and shit. Or I told him that you helped me with the chat and shit. I appreciate that.
Hey, no problem, bro. You know how long I've been watching your videos? You really put on for the Asian community. Stop Asian hate for real.
Nah, I mean, like I've seen some stuff of you saying some stuff about me back then, but honestly, me back then, I guess it was just like I'm just controlled by like the clout and stuff. So I was kind of acting out of character and shit. Like, you feel me?
Yeah, well, I understand. That all happens when you're doing content every day. You can't be mad about it. But how do you like Rumble so far?
Nah, it's cool, man. I mean, just a place for me to make vids and stuff like that. I guess you can relate where, doing YouTube and stuff is like a childhood dream. So kind of tapped out for a little bit, did like a private life stuff. But nah, man, it's dope so far. It's dope. And
I,
like I'm seeing what you and Fresh and Fit and all them stuff is doing about just talking about life and the life, like the problems in the world and shit. So, I'm somewhat fascinated by all that.
So do you wanna mature the type of content that you're doing? Because sometimes I hear that type of attitude from a lot of YouTubers where they'll do fun content for a while, the drama stuff. I mean, you guys are doing like the rap videos and stuff, and then they'll want
Yeah.
to kind of mature it and then talk about what's going on in the world. Do you want to do that too?
Yeah, yeah. So with my vids and shit, like the other day, I would just call random girls to try to get, other perspectives and stuff. And then some calls is about like OnlyFans and they're talking about like these crazy, experiences and stuff. But then the other day I got into a call, it was some girl and she went to NYU and shit. And then, she was like, seemed smarter. And she said she had like a 34 on her ACT and she like seemed smarter. And so we were having a conversation, and it was just like a different type of vibe, right? Where it was like a little more sophisticated, and my viewers are older and shit now. But like I said, I'm real surface level. I'm like not the smartest guy and shit. But not that does sound cool. And they were asking me to ask you about all that red pill shit and just be more informed about that type of shit.
Yeah, I was wondering about that too because I've been watching your streams and then you talk to a lot of girls. And I debate about that a lot too, having girls on. But a lot of them are, I mean, they are OnlyFans girls. So basically, we're creating a funnel for a lot of people in the chat to go and subscribe to these girls. And it's just, a lot of it is extremely surface. Like, it's entertaining, but it's like these girls are just absolute whores. So what are we really doing with our platform? And like, are we promoting anything good?
Exactly, because like because I just called a girl and she was like, I had three threesomes today, and was showing her outfit. She had a girl in her room, and they were like kissing and stuff. And so, does that just make the viewers like, want to go to the hub type shit? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't even want to promote that. I don't know, you know what I mean? I guess it starts with trying to make entertaining content, and then you kind of see, what it does to people. I guess I'm
Well,
not
that's
sure.
why it's entertaining because it's like it's spiking your interest and making you horny. So yeah, it is gonna make guys want to go to the hub, which I think is the worst thing
Yeah,
for
yeah,
people's
yeah,
souls and
yeah.
their minds. Like I don't want to see anything about Adam 22 and his wife, and every single day I have to see 5 things about it. And think about how many people are gonna use that and then turn it into a funnel to go look at porn. And then they jack off, and then their chest is covered in nut, and then they gotta wipe it off with a sock and put it in the laundry, and then they gotta look at their blank screen, and their reflection is in the blankness of their laptop, and they're looking at their dumb, stupid face. It's just the worst thing. It's making people more upset. You don't watch porn, right?
Yeah, so I actually had this conversation recently with the chat, you know what I'm saying? I think it's normalized, like even in your friend group, like, oh yo, I just beat off or what, you know what I mean? Or and so it's like a habit where every day you do it, but nah, I mean, I got a girl and shit now, so I don't really need to. And like I really am trying to avoid it because of, you know, all the negative effects to it and stuff like that. And no, but then again, bro, there is the argument where like, you know, all right, so let's say you make a lot of money and you know you're a high profile man or whatever, so the porn stuff is, you know, attainable, like the stuff you see like with the pretty girls, like that's attainable. But what if a person is so, I mean, I don't want to call them like a loser, right? But they just, you know, it's just not possible. Like not everyone in the world is, you know, a leader, not everyone in the world is, you know, super strong, how we think we are. So what if the only way they can experience that is by viewing it, and then they don't have to waste money and waste time, I guess, in investing in girls? Like, to what about that angle of it, where porn can save, you know, people time, I guess, and you know they can just do that, get it out their system, and then you know go on with their life. Like, you get what I'm saying?
I mean, that's like saying that somebody should do heroin so that they know what heroin's like and they don't do it anymore. It's just better to not do it at all. It's like instead of doing heroin, it's like, okay, just pop Percocet because Percocet's not going to be as damaging to you. But they're both bad. And are you married? Are you in a marriage?
Nah, I mean, I'm not married, but I mean, you know how when you date a girl, you damn near act like you guys are married and stuff. But nah, I got a good girl and shit, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know about marriage, man. We go see, you know, just see with time and shit. You know, it's like scary getting the government involved and shit, you know, and all the money
You,
and
you
shit.
don't want her to stake you with that Rumble deal. You got the bag and you don't want her to take 50% and just leave, huh?
No, you know, it's not even that. It's just I mean, like I said, bro, just life is long. I've only knew her for like a few years, so you know, we go see and then stuff like that. But yeah, no, just yeah, just with her, like she doesn't do OnlyFans and stuff, so I think I got a really good girl. But I mean, I feel like it's hard as fuck nowadays to meet a good girl and
Yeah, it
shit like
is.
that.
It's extremely difficult. Like, especially if they get involved in social media whatsoever, they're going to be programmed to some extent. So I'd rather just wait. I'm getting incel pilled. Like, I used to kind of have that mindset, like, okay, maybe I should just have a couple of hoes around and maybe I should go and have a rotation and then just wait and just not really care about them. Or instead of having to date because there's no good girls that you could really spend time with. I'm at the point where just the amount of bullshit that you have to put up with the female just to get some head is
Mm.
not worth the risk. Especially you see all these guys that are going down just for messing with the girl, like Benjamin Mendy, that soccer player, the French soccer
Oh,
player. He did 2 years and lost 2 years peak of his career for accusations that turned out to be false. And you're not going to get those 2 years back. You see what's happening to Tate. They're facing jail time for girls that are lying. McGregor that gets accused, Neymar, Danny
McGregor.
Alves. McGregor got accused of R word like 2 weeks ago. So it's like, is it really worth the nut? Like 2 years of your career, all this money just to get your penis rubbed a little bit? It's like, I'd rather not, I'd rather just focus on what I'm supposed to do instead of investing that much time and energy into nutting.
Yeah, wait, so you right now you're kind of on your single shit, like you're really not letting the girls be a distraction, but what if some time passed and you want some lonely shit, like damn, like I just want, because like I mean, I guess it is fun to just, you know, have someone and you guys are on the same page and they, you know, and they understand you and you feel loved and shit like that, right? So, I mean, it's not even all about nutting or whatever, but you just don't see yourself going into like a relationship in the next like year or so.
If I could find one, but I don't think that I could find one in the West. I don't think that there's an American girl that's going to be on the same wavelength and that isn't going to give me the time, is not going to stress me out and just waste all my energy. I've been in a lot of relationships and it's just a giant energy suck because I don't know about you, bro, but
That's true.
I'm a lover boy. Like I fall in love and all this stuff. I like
Yeah.
to give flowers. I give up too much of my time and energy to a female when I should be working. So I think it's only really worth investing into a relationship when I'm ready to like settle down, like you. You know what I'm saying? Like you've been in a long
Yeah.
relationship for a while. Once I'm ready to do that, then I just would rather cut them off and focus on the grind. And then maybe once in a while, like even though it's haram, like try to, you know what I'm saying? But just to get it out of your system, but just focus up. But what's your objective with your streaming? You know, you're doing like 4 or 5 hours every single day. How do you keep it entertaining? How do you keep it fresh every single day?
Yeah. No, that's a good question. So, I mean, I feel like being in the social media shit, sometimes we obsess about like getting like the most views and maybe being like number one or whatever. But or that was my mindset for a while back then. But now where I'm at right now, man, just build out the community. You don't even really need to be the biggest motherfucker in the world, but if you have a core strong community that really, I mean, like I said, everyone's different. Like every creator offers something different, and so what I offer, I guess it attracts a certain type of viewer. So I'm just currently building out my community right now. And then we're just gonna see, bro. It's like my first like 2 weeks, month of doing this, and I've been gone for like 2 years. So it is kind of difficult to like get right back into the mix and stuff, man. The internet, I mean, people don't people think it's so easy, but for us to even come out here, show face, give our opinions and stuff, like everyone can just comment on our stuff, and we're like putting ourselves out there. So I'm just figuring it out right now, man. I guess I can ask the same question now to you, man. Like, what is your purpose? What is your goal of what you're trying to do? But as far as me, I'm just trying to build out my community and then kind of, see from there.
I'm trying to defeat the devil. I'm trying to go fight the powers that be because I think that they worship Satan. So every day, that's like I think the best thing that motivates me is think I need to take down these power
Yeah,
structures that worship the devil. How could I inspire people the most that I can? How could I use funny to my advantage? How could I be entertaining and try to put out a positive message? Because I see like self-improvement and I see constantly growing and becoming better as the only way to not get bored or not get stale when it comes to content, because there's always something that you're working on. It's like you're building the Jenga little tower. I'm wondering, like, because you've been doing it for so long, you were in that whole LA, like you were A-lister YouTube in 2016,
thanks, dude.
2017. I mean, that's true. It's not really like I'm not saying that's a
Yeah.
glaze, but what have you noticed as the difference now? Because this like Rumble kick thing, it's kind of given an avenue for people to speak more and people care more about free speech and conversations. Do you notice a big shift? Because like 2016, 2017, it was very Logan Paul-y, kind of
Yeah.
clout Vine.
Yeah.
What do you notice is the difference? Because I was still like building the blocks back then.
No, there's definitely more freedom in the shit. I mean, like I don't really say anything too crazy where like I need a platform where I can really speak my mind. I kind of say the same shit. Oh wait, hold on 2 seconds. I need to lower you down. But no, it's definitely a thing right now where the creator has a ton of control, whereas back then it wasn't really like that. Hold on, I want to ask you a question about how you said that you're trying to defeat something, or you're trying to defeat something, right? Like, because I would see random clips of you and stuff, but you have like a perspective where like there's someone like trying to control us, or there's someone trying to like push like a narrative on us or something like that. And when it's like someone, like who is doing it, or like who is they, like what I mean, like they are trying to control us, or they're trying to make us like the trans or the fucking gay stuff that keeps popping up, right? Like like could you go more in depth about that?
I mean, I could, but I don't know if it's worth doing it right now. But there's just a certain group of people with the most amount of money that don't really care. Basically, the people with the most amount of money, a lot of them worship the devil, literally. We saw it exposed with Epstein's Island. They go there and they perform these rituals and they make sacrifices to
Yeah,
different gods. Like,
yeah, but that's like one. No, but that's like one like example of one. But like, how do you know if that's like a really big thing that's hella happening? Like, you know what I'm saying?
because it gets exposed over and over again. It used to be something that used to be conspiracy theory,
Gotcha,
but
gotcha.
then you see what they're doing with children, and you see what they're doing on the islands, and you see exactly what, like, for example, transgenderism is them trying to get people to mutilate their bodies. It's almost like a satanic ritual. They want
No,
you to.
true, true, true. No, true. So they're doing that to get more people to be trans, right? But why? Like, what does that do for them? Like, if more people are influenced and like, oh fuck, now I'm gonna be trans because it's so normalized, and like that's what they want from people. But it's like, why do they want that? Like, why do they want more trans people?
Because the more confused the normies are, the easier it is for them to have ultimate control. If we're all confused and yelling about how there's 10 genders and cutting off our dicks and changing our pronouns and saying that we need rights and yelling about, then we are going to that's going to be our problems. Well, their problems are figuring out which island to go to for this weekend. They have to figure out where they're going to go vacation. They got to figure out which celebrity that they want to do rituals with. Like they get to do whatever they want, and then we're confused and we're cutting off our body parts and we're yelling about nothing. It's the same reason that during COVID they allowed us to go outside for Black Lives Matter for a month, because they just gave us something to run outside and yell about. It's to keep us controlled and focused on things that don't matter. One, because they want us to be upset. If we don't have families and we don't have children, then we are easily controlled because we're not going to be happy, right? If we cut our dicks off, then we can't have families, and we're not going to be happy. We're going to be dissatisfied, and then we're more likely to take drugs. We're more likely to be looking at our phone, watching porn. We're more likely going to be consumers. But not only that, I think they find it funny. I think they find it hilarious, the fact that they can control us like this, that they can tell us to go into a restaurant and put on a mask and then take it off as soon as you sit down. I think that they think it's like a fun little game to play master with all the little slaves, civilians.
Okay. Nah, man, I'm just trying to understand it and shit like that, understand your point of view. Because you have actually a lot of stronger beliefs and shit. And like, as far as me, I'm pretty open. Like, I kind of hear both sides. And I guess some part of it, I understand. Like, yeah, I guess there is someone, like, to whether it's the president or someone like higher up, trying to control a narrative. But it's just like, I don't understand why they would. Because, I mean, I don't know, bro. I guess I'm going to figure it out.
Well, I mean, if they want, think about like somebody owning a farm, for example, when you have all the cattle on the farm. If you want to extract the most resources from the cows, you keep them inside of a fence. You don't let them leave. You don't let them see that they can explore the entire field. You keep them in a little box, and then you just extract them from all the milk. So if you don't want them to ever be aware that there's the rest of the field, you just want them to know that they could just be on the farm. That's the same thing with the people that are in control. So they see people as cattle. They see people as cows that they want to extract all the resources from. And our resource is not milk, it's our minds. If we could put our attention on things that don't matter, they can monetize us forever. Our commodity is our attention span. So once you realize that if it's free, you're the product, you can see that everything that you look at, everything that we focus our attention on, they're monetizing it in some way. So even though porn is free, no, it's not. You're selling your soul.
All right. And then you said stuff about like the vax shit, but like, didn't you have like other, like, not the COVID vax, obviously, but you had other vax like to go to school and certain stuff, right? Like the flu vax and other shit like that.
Well, the funny thing is, when COVID started, the flu deaths went to zero. Like the flu deaths used to be like a couple thousand, and then they absolutely disappeared when COVID started. And then even if you look at the vaccines back in the 60s and 70s, you only needed like 3. Nowadays, you need like 50. Like people will walk around with 50 different vaccines, and the autism rates are extremely high. This is stuff you can't really say on YouTube, or you're gonna get banned. But it correlates completely with like the amount of autism and the amount of vaccines. So, do you really think? And think about this, like, even though it might sound like a crazy conspiracy theorist now, if you look at like the Amish communities didn't take any vaccines. They had no COVID deaths. How are all of them unvaccinated? None of them wore masks, and they're all fine. If you look at the religious communities that never got vaccinated whatsoever, they don't have any autism. They have no autism, and they also have no vaccines. Why is that?
Yeah. No, but you have to understand too. I think like the whole world is damn near vax, right? Because like it made it a thing where like, oh, you need a vax to fly, or you need a vax to even have a job. So I think like the whole world damn near got vaxxed. But like, if you're talking about like these cases and shit, isn't it just like a few cases here and there and shit like that? Like if the whole world got vaxxed, and if the vax is really terrible, like wouldn't we see millions and millions of deaths? You know what I mean, about it and shit like that. I'm not sure if I'm honest.
Well, I mean, they have admitted that myocarditis is on the rise because of the vaccine. The CDC and the FDA, they put out statements saying that myocarditis is on the rise, and they even retracted the original vaccine. They said that it's not. Don't take the original vaccine anymore. We have to put an updated one because there's complications. At the same time, remember they were saying that there was going to be a winter of severe illness. The White House put the statement on their website saying that if you don't get vaccinated, there's going to be a winter of severe illness. And then what happened to all the unvaccinated people? I'm unvaxxed, for example. We were supposed to be dead. How, if the vaccine was really that crucial and important, then how come all of us are still walking around fine? We should be like, there's no serious cases of all the unvaccinated people getting in trouble.
Because I think this, bro. I feel like they wanted all these businesses to get vaxxed and shit because like, or like, like I'm referring to when they're like, oh, you need a vax to even have a job and shit. And it's like, what if if you own like a restaurant and people go there and your workers are unvaxxed, and then people are like getting COVID from that. So they just kind of like they just didn't want people. I mean, like I said, bro, I don't fucking know.
But
It's all
that defeats the whole purpose. That was in my opinion, the dumbest thing that they used to shame and guilt people into getting this. Because if the vaccine worked, it would still work even if somebody else was unvaccinated. Like that defeats the whole purpose. If you want to protect yourself, you want to get the vaccine, get it. But why does everybody have to take it? And they're like, oh, the risk is lower, but that defeats the whole purpose of it. So it's all a control mechanism when you look at it. That's why like some people took like 5. I know that you're Asian, so like same thing with my like Asian family. Yo, they took every single booster shot. They because they're manipulated by fear. I don't know what that is, but the Asian community gets manipulated so quickly by fear. I think it's the perfect example. Like even when I go to Asia now, all of them are still wearing masks. And it's because they don't really want to stick out from the crowd. They're afraid of judgment in that way. Like my Filipino grandparents, for example, they didn't leave the crib for 2 years straight. Like I opened up the door to try to like knock and like say Happy Mother's Day to my grandma, and like she came in with an N95 mask and only spoke to me through the screen door back in like 2022. So
I think it makes sense with the like. So the thing that kind of helps your point or whatever is like someone is making money. You know what I mean? Off of it, like someone's making $1 billion off the vaccine. So that's just the interesting thing that I would say. And like,
Pfizer made $11 billion. I think they made $11 billion in 2021, and in 2020 they made 4. So they made almost like double their profit from the vaccine. And you see guys like Michael Phelps, for example, they're getting brand deals like Rage. They're getting brand deals to promote the vaccine the same way that we're getting Raid Shadow Legends. So they'll go on their Instagram story and be like, instead of got milk, got vaxxed, and then Martha Stewart will like have a Band-Aid on her shoulder and she's like thumbs upping. They made a bag off this, all of them, and we just got myocarditis. So just
there's ways to look at it, like maybe they're trying to control us, maybe they're trying to push, like they're trying to control us, right? Like, oh, they want everyone to be on the same wave, or maybe they just want people to be healthy and want people to avoid the COVID shit. You know what I mean? Like,
why would they want us to be healthy? They wouldn't want us to be healthy because then they couldn't make money off of us. It's the same. Bill Gates realized this, and that's why you see Bill Gates is one of the people that were shilling for the vaccine so hard, and why he's always investing in third world countries to try to with mosquitoes, and they always attribute him to malaria. Let me explain it like in simple terms. For example, he realized, and this is true, he realized that he could make a bag off of virus software. Off of virus protection software. He can make so much money. So what he did was he would program a lot of computers with bugs so that he could sell the software that fixes the bugs. So apply that logic to people. You get people thinking they're sick, or you get people sick, and then you also provide them with the antidote. It's the perfect scam. You get to monetize people forever. They don't want you healthy. They want you sick so that you are always looking for drugs. They want you depressed so they can sell you the antidepressants.
Nah, man, I feel where you're coming from, bro. And like, I can't agree or disagree with you because all this is conspiracies. And I mean, you make some points, people trying to make money off of us, people trying to control us, shit like that. I just don't know who they is, and I just don't know who's doing it specifically. But yeah, maybe you make some good points or whatever, It's cool. Cool.
All right, bro. So it was good catching up with you, man. I want to talk next time about we could talk more about stopping Asian hate. I want to, because there's not a lot of Asian creators.
Hold up. So about the Asian shit, right? I guess growing up, if we're looking at like Asian movies, right? There's like Jackie Chan and certain shit, but there really isn't that much. But did you notice like in the last like year or so, there's like hella Asian movies, like I just saw like Shang-Chi or the fucking like. But now in Hollywood, there's like hella Asian movies, or hella Asian actors now and shit like that, like more than usual. So, I would say is it being better for us and shit like that? Like
I think that people gave a lot of hype to movies like Crazy Rich Asians. I thought that movie was garbage.
Yep.
I thought the movie was trash. But I think everything happens all at once, everywhere, everything all at once. People like that movie a lot. I wasn't a big fan. I thought it was just really loud.
Have you seen Shane Can Dunk or some shit? Have you heard about that?
No, is that a basketball movie? What is that?
I don't know, but they're making a hella Asian movies, and I don't know if they're doing that to like support Asians or if it's like a niche for Asian stuff. But no, I have been seeing hella Asian like in the Hollywood. I've been seeing hella Asians in Hollywood, and I mean, I guess that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I mean, it's better than Hangover when we were running around with like it was just small penis jokes like that was. every single Asian in movies for years was just like a tiny
Low
retard.
key, though, every Asian movie now it's like the same shit though. It's like fucking karate and like they have problems with their parents and strict parent. Like there was like this other Asian movie like some Disney one with the red panda. I don't know if you saw it, but there has been hella Asian movies and they're all the same shit, bro. About like karate and their mom is strict and like I don't know if that's like I mean I guess it's a good thing that Asians are being more talked about, but then again, it's like the same fucking generic shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the most relatable thing. It's like every single Asian movie has the strict mom, and every black movie has no dad. So it's just it kind of reflects what the culture is to some extent. So I don't really watch these movies. I think movies are garbage for the past like 10 years. But
Man, you think everything's garbage? No.
well, movies suck. This streaming is way more entertaining. I don't know about you, but I only watch streams. I only watch content. I only look at Twitter now. Like even when I'm done streaming, I'll like turn on. Even though like he's talking shit about me, I saw in your podcast. I'll watch like Aiden Ross, for example. I watch. I like him. I like that type of content. I don't have the attention span to sit down and watch people pretend anymore. I want to see real shit because it's so. Reality is more entertaining than anything that they could write.
I like that. I like that. All right, bro. Well, yeah, it was good talking. We can catch up again in the future, but I'll hit you up.
Wait, last thing. Well, why don't you want to talk to Leafy?
Why don't I want to talk to Leafy? Okay, so I think I'm down to talk to him. You know what I mean? I think I'm down to call him. You know, I've actually knew him. I think he tried. All right, so I said I didn't want to talk to him, and then he was using it to kind of like weaponize me, saying like I changed because you know I knew him for a long time and this and this. But to be fair, I mean I knew him since 2015 or 2016, but we've never met in person. Like if he was really my friend, maybe we would meet in person. Maybe you know what I'm saying?
But, I don't think he's met anybody in person.
Yeah, so. I don't know, but I was down to call him off stream. Like he wanted to call me on stream on my first stream ever, and so a lot was going on. And then on the second stream, he was just kept blowing me up. But in my head, I mean, like, bro, I'm all about freedom of speech. He can say whatever he wants, but just on his Twitter, he was hella on some like just, you know, in my opinion, just hateful shit. I mean, you know, he's just hateful, like just all these tweets about like trans people should kill themselves, fuck gay people, just all that shit. And so, like. People, I feel like people already hate me a certain way, so I just didn't want to give people another reason to hate me, and like you know, I don't even want to be attached to that. Not like you know, I don't even support all that, and so people might think like, yo, if you're friends with Leafy, then you might feel the same way he does. So I was just trying to avoid all that, but you know, he could hit me up off stream anytime he wants. You know, if talking to me is what he really wants to do, then he could talk to me. But as far as on stream, I just felt like you know, I don't know, you know, what we have to talk about, you know, shit like that. How do you feel about that?
Understandable. I completely get it. But I think he's a good guy. The tweets, I get it. But I want to see that call. As a fan, as like somebody watching back in 2015, 2016, I want to see that. But yeah, it was good talking to you, Rice. I think we should catch up again. Shout out to you, man. Keep putting on.
Yeah. Hey, you too, bro. I'll hit you.
All right, peace.
All right, peace.
That's it.
Your job?